He's about to do something crazy.
Oh no.
So I was a bit concerned. I was just looking up and I was just like, huh. Well, there's something you don't see every day. And then that was also when... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another part of Child of Light. And we are taking on the Ogre boss.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes, so it revealed that all the Piskins are gone. It ate them.
Dun, dun, dun. Talk
And
about
now
an
it
appetite,
wants
man.
you on the menu. And it has 2 skull hounds. And it also has like a
That scary
dia
like.
flail.
Well, it looks like it's a morning star,
Okay.
but with 3.
There's 3 there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3. Woof. 3 morning stars. Oh boy. But yeah, this is an interesting boss because it's just a larger version of the giant
Yeah, the
from
one that we
earlier in the
already
game.
faced.
So it's weird how they call this the ogre. I was expecting something more like
Shrek.
yeah.
That's what I was expecting. I was expecting like an actual ogre of some sort of like deformities or something.
But I mean, you don't have to be deformed to be an ogre. I guess you just gotta be
You
like
just have to have layers.
exactly. Gotta have layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Do you get it?
Cake! Everybody loves cake.
You know, a lot of people don't like onions. Cake! Everybody loves
loves-
cake. Damn.
You know, I'd rather
It
have
hits
pie
hard
than
as
cake.
hell. You're a pie person?
Yeah.
Me too.
I'd rather have a piece of pie than cake.
I enjoy cake, but like pie always hits the spot. Peach pie, peach cobbler. Blueberry pie. It's apple pie that makes the meal. All right, Robert. Hinder these fiends and show them what's up.
I think my favorite is lemon meringue.
Oh, really? I don't think I've had that one too much. I'm not too big on pecan pie.
Yeah, I noticed that. I made little pecan pies for
And I was like,
Thanksgiving, and you were like, I'll eat the apple. I was like, it's fine. I like pecan pie.
apple pie. Oh,
Is it pecan or pecan?
I say pecan. But you know my pronunciation. It's not the best at all. So please don't.
Golem.
Yeah, you're one to talk to. Golem. Gorilla. Go ahead. Shoot me. Be a man.
I think it's pecan. If it's pecan not, you should see a doctor.
Sounds like you want to whip out those dad jokes. Ho ho.
Oh,
Just like one day you'll read the dad jokes and I'll read the
God.
Pittsburghese.
I love it.
So,
So, like, our friend group has decided to mail out Secret Santa gifts as opposed to, like, getting together, just being responsible with, like, the rise in cookie pieces and stuff like that. So, he received his Secret Santa gift. Yes, we know it's late in the game. It's, you know,
yeah,
not anywhere near Christmas anymore.
it's just now March at the time of recording.
But, like, he got a dad jokes book. Oh my god, I love it. I think I liked it more than you did.
Nah, I
I think
liked it
we
a lot.
equally liked it, but I was definitely just more giddy about it.
I liked it, and I just had like a smile with the other gift. I call it bold and brash. More like belongs in the trash.
The painting from SpongeBob.
So like that's neat, and we're gonna hang it up shortly.
Yeah.
So
We're
yeah,
trying to find the perfect place for it.
thoughtful gifts.
Yes.
Hooray for that.
Hooray.
Alright, so again, like I said, the key is hindering these enemies, and we gotta take out the hounds first, and then we can focus on the giant itself.
Yeah.
But most of the bosses in this game focus on just like taking out the 2 lackeys, and then taking down the big boy, which was a misconception you made in the Link's Awakening video
Yeah.
for Trials of Mana. There's only a handful of bosses that have that strategy, whereas the majority of bosses in Child of Light have that strategy.
Yeah.
2 lackeys, the big boss, the spider, the dragon, the ogre.
But yeah, they always come in a set. You're never gonna face just one boss in this game.
Yeah. Whereas in Trials of Mana, there's quite a few bosses that are just alone. The harpy, the giant crab at the beginning,
feel like the
ghost.
The mini bosses you face alone. The mini bosses you face alone, but I think the Benevodons, most of them have some sort of interference, whether it's like the fists on either side, the three faces,
Okay.
like how I think it was Zambi, the Firebird, you had to like hit
Those
the
statues.
posts.
Yeah.
There was some sort of other obstacle you also had to battle while battling the Benevodon.
Okay. But I guess we can say at the time of recording this, you beat your first Zelda.
I did. I cried. Don't worry.
Yes, you did.
Like, I was so frustrated with the shadow bosses. I was like, this is dumb.
And now you're starting another game.
Oh my
what
God.
the hell have you drug me into?
I don't know.
We are playing Rayman on PS1.
I thought that I would relive some of, like...
Oh, cool. Took out both of them. Finn, you are a beast.
Boom. I thought I would relive a little bit of my childhood. Like, I played Rayman on PC and, like, study hall
More
in
like
middle
relive
school.
childhood scars.
I know. Well, it's like, because in study hall, we had study hall and a computer lab. And they're like, there wasn't enough teachers per students whenever I was in middle school. So study hall students would go to another class.
Gotcha.
So, like, my study hall was in typing class. So I was allowed to use the computer. Like, I didn't have to type with the class because I wasn't a part of the class.
Okay,
But I was
I
allowed
see.
to use the computer.
Yes.
So, like, there was nothing for me to do. I couldn't print anything, so it's not like I could type homework or,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that. So social media didn't exist yet.
Correct.
So I literally just played games.
Okay.
Most of them were puzzle games, but I did play, like, Earthworm Jim, Rayman, Bejeweled. But you could only play, like, the first level, and then you had to pay.
Yeah.
Like, you had to buy the game.
Yeah.
So I only ever played, like, the super easy one where you, like, get the punch.
Yep. And then once you get the punch, the game's like, oh, you can attack enemies now.
Yeah.
Kill them.
Yeah.
That game, man. And, like, it all made
rough.
sense when I read up that Ubisoft at the time did not play test the game. They just went through it a couple times and
That
it's
is
just like,
clearly
it works.
apparent that they
It doesn't
didn't
crash.
Play test it. They didn't give a shit about the person playing.
Because, like, when they hear about it now, it's just like, well, you can always use the cheat codes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the okay, whatever. Fine. I can cheat too.
Or you could have just made a goddamn game that plays well. Either way.
It's a shame
We've
because it is
started.
one of the most gorgeous games on the PlayStation. And it has a phenomenal soundtrack from what I've heard so far.
Yeah. See, it's funny, though, because you've never beaten Rayman either,
No.
that you're aware of.
Oh, I promise you, I've never beaten Rayman. It's not a Gex situation.
So, I had
I've
this-
never beaten it.
this moment
I
of,
know I got
like-
up to the mountains, but I'm not sure why my file never picked up at the mountains.
You might have not beat the mountains.
Yeah.
But, like, I had this moment of, like, ooh, he hasn't finished the game. I might, like, finish a game you haven't finished. Like, see the end before you do.
And then you play
And then this asshole decides, like, okay, well, I mean, when you're done, I'll just play for a little bit. You can't see my face right now,
Timber!
but I hope the stoic silence seeps through.
I'll just put ... even though I know I won't because I don't really like editing for these.
No, we just kind of play.
I just kind of like let them
Talk,
go
yeah.
and then chatter, talk about what's new because I do heavy editing for the other videos and I like to make time for my RPG Maker stuff.
Yes.
So hooray, hurrah for that. Okay, so we have to go back to Jen and give her the bad news.
Sorry, everyone you know is dead.
Yep. They were eaten. They died.
See, it makes me wonder, in that type of situation, do you tell them how everyone died, or is, like, just that they, like, is it a kindness
I think it's just a kindness to be like, they're gone. Like, unfortunately, they didn't make it.
Yeah.
I think that's enough.
Like, or would it be kinder to be
What do
like,
you wanna
they've
be?
been eaten?
Choked on the goldfish.
Oh. My father? Oh, he died in the Crusades. My mother? Oh, she died of pneumonia.
While you were away.
My brothers? They died. I think they died in the Crusades as well, actually. They died in the Crusades. Mm-hmm. My pet dog Pongo? Hit by a carriage. My goldfish Goldie? Eaten by the cat. My cat
Choked on the goldfish.
Oh, it's good to have you around, Master Robin.
All right. And as always, music is worth 1,000 words.
I love that Aurora's like, you're sad. I'll play my flute for you.
Yep. That's the recurring theme here, if you haven't picked up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Jen's gonna sob. Aww. But don't worry. Now is your chance for revenge.
I love it.
So, yeah, Geneva's gonna join us. And though it's a little late, she does come in handy in, like, the last batch of battles.
Yeah, she does.
But, like, I just wish there was more time to spend with her.
I feel like she would have been really useful, like, earlier on.
I think that's the sole reason they said, nah, maybe it makes it too easy.
Yeah.
Because she can really manipulate battles if you know how to use her. Like, I'm definitely going to be using her in the last couple boss fights. As few and far between as they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's give her some skills. Yeah, we gave her the battle cry. Alimbali! Leedle, leedle, leedle. See, I always think of Magic Conch, and you think of, oh, nah, leedle, 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 leedle. But I think of, like, Magic Conch, should we go forth with Geneva in our party? Sure. The Magic Conch has spoken! Woo!
Well, I do that sound just in general.
Trying to, like, mate with a turkey? This is crazy talk.
Billy Ferrickson Day.
Alright, so now that the ogre is destroyed, Geneva is a part of our party. We can go to the lowest of the low. Elevator going down! I had an experience like that when I went to Disney World, where like a buddy of mine, as soon as we went up and like it stopped, my friend went, going down! During the Tower of Terror. And it just like dropped us.
I've never been to the amusement park.
Disney World was a crazy time, let me tell you. Because like right off the start, the first day we were at Epcot, and like I went there on the band trip. And what happened was we look up and there's just like this plane in the sky writing messages. And the reason why we were so concerned was what we were writing was Jesus, help. And Phil bumps me and says, if that last word is me, we are out of here. Because he's about to do something crazy.
Oh, no.
So I was a bit concerned. I was just looking up and I was just like, huh. Well, there's something you don't see every day. And then that was also when Phil got his fedora from the Indiana Jones show, which was like one of the highlights of like, he loves Indiana Jones. And like he wanted a legit fedora. So we go on Thunder Mountain and he's just like,
he lost his fedora.
No. Because he's just like, well, I'm very worried about my fedora. Is this a fast ride? She's like, no, not really. What she's saying is, in comparison to the other rides, not very that fast. But still fast enough to where you'd lose the fedora. So he's holding on, clutching his fedora, and as he goes down the hill, because he's already on the ride.
You can't take your head off.
Ask him,
ride, man. What an asshole.
So, anyways, as we slide down, and the woman's waiting, he's like, "You said this was a slow ride, you bitch."
For sure.
What else happened? Well, there was a time when Jeff, the big tuba player, he was just like, oh, Warren, are you ready to ride your first wooden roller coaster? But what came out was, Warren, are you ready to ride your first because he stubbed his foot off my shoe and he was wearing sandals. And he got very mad. He's just like, how are you wearing shoes in like Florida of like 100-degree weather? And I'm just like, hey, if we were vehicles and you hit me, you'd have to pay me. Because I could sue you. You bumped into me. By the way, elevator going down. So anyways, at that point, I walked a bit too far and bumped into Phil, who's also wearing sandals. So I nailed him right in the ankle, and he turns and says, "Well, the money now goes to me."
Sure.
So here we are, the lowest of the low. A crystalline sea depths. A very unique water level.
Yeah, I liked this level. I like the aesthetic of this level a lot.
The aesthetic is really cool, but on top of that, there are no underwater physics in this game because you fly and you just kind of like float around.
Yeah.
So it's an enjoyable water level.
Yeah.
Most games, and you have yet to experience that many.
No,
Wait, hold on. Alice, yeah. Most games, like the water level is the...
Yeah, it's the soul crusher. Where you're just like, fuck this game. I'm done.
It gets annoying. As a counterpoint, Rayman just has the Belmont syndrome to where you dissolve when you touch water, so there's always that. At least Sonic, there's a countdown to where it's just like, help, I'm drowning!
He can like hold his breath for so long before he's like, all right, hey.
But Rayman and Belmonts, they touch it, they go, ooh!
Yeah, there's no recovery.
They're like that episode of Johnny Bravo where he like dips his toe into the beach, into the ocean, and he goes, oh, cramp!
He's probably trying to pick up a lady lifeguard.
Probably. Man, I'm pretty. Do the monkey with me. Hey there, lady. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so the enemies we got here is everyone's favorite Grim Reaper. They're back. And the archer guys are now made of crystals. So yeah, but don't worry, we can manipulate time using Geneva.
Let's go, Jen.
So we'll have her. And what's good is the Reaper is weak to light, which at this point, Aurora should be splendid with light.
She is the child of light.
Yeah. Well, like as a kid when she casts light spells, it like kind of like evens out and doesn't do critical damage.
Yeah.
Once you become an adult, it actually like, oh, these enemies are vulnerable to light. You have the advantage, which is nice. So like there's a progression in not just story but gameplay of how your spells do more damage, which is an advantage that RPGs just have. Like there's a lot of RPGs where you will face the villain early on and he will wipe the floor with you. That's to set a standard of just like, you are not strong enough yet.
Yeah.
And then when you reach the end of the game, you have the opportunity
It's a fair fight.
to not only make it fair, but sometimes obliterate your opponent if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So like sometimes if you're just doing the minimum and like you understand the strategy, it's a fair fight, even Stevens. Other times, if you're like grinding or over leveling and doing all the side quests before taking on the final boss, you can turn it into ribbon paper. So like it's very cool in both a gameplay and narrative aspect.
Yeah.
And not many other genres can pull that off.
Well, I feel like the other genres don't necessarily need to, because you're not gaining experience.
Exactly. Haha, found you, missing little Stardust.
Little Stardust. Okay. That's enough now.
Okay, so
Some
let's...
new skillies.
Okay, I need 2 skill points for Finn to learn the strongest thunder spell, which is something I definitely want to have because this is the finale, ironically enough, takes place in the ocean, which is very rare for the finale. Usually it's the volcano, the dark world, the castle, the tomb. Those are standard final levels. So it's unique
for
it to be like the ocean floor.
Well, I think it's interesting because in the real world, her people are facing a flood.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that she would fight a battle underwater, just like her people are fighting water.
Yeah.
So, like, thematically, it makes sense.
Yeah, you raise a very good point.
Ah.
Alrighty. But, it's a fairly long dungeon, and there's a couple bosses sprinkled throughout. But this is the final dungeon of the game.
Okay.
All right, and we'll do it in the next part.
Toodles.